Hello and welcome to Honest Trailer Commentaries. Don't you hate paper straws?
I mean, they're saving the earth.
I love the environment, but at this point, useless. Absolutely useless. We're talking about Frozen 2 today. This is Honest Trailer Commentary, so watch Frozen 2. Come back here for our uncensored thoughts. We're going to do a deep dive into the process behind making the video. We're going to respond to some viewer questions. We're going to show you some deleted scenes. We're going to tease next week's Honest Trailer. Ooh, yeah, that makes me want to take a nice sip of iced coffee with my mouth.
Weird.
How do mouths work? Damn it, give me a straw. Frozen 2.
We're the target market for that, right?
Yeah. If you want Frozen 2, you talk to two 30-something dudes.
Yeah.
And but I feel like we're able to evaluate because there's plenty of Disney children's films we love. I loved Frozen. I think it was so overrated that it became underrated.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
Yeah, it's in retrospect one of the all-time great movie soundtracks, or as far as original songs.
That I'll agree with you. I always thought that Frozen was an average movie with great songs.
Yeah.
And I thought this was a pretty good movie with very average songs.
Yeah.
So it all sort of equals out.
Yep. I think that this I didn't finish Frozen and think, ooh, I wonder where this goes next.
Yeah.
Clearly, and I think Disney's admitted as much, that they did not see this coming. They didn't see the force that it became. And plot-wise, they unfortunately told a complete story in the first one, so they had to invent some bullshit to do in the sequel.
That's my problem with sequels is like you have to, we mentioned it kind of briefly in the trailer, you have to like undo all of the stuff that gets resolved in the first movie in order to give you a plot for the second movie. So it's like, and they lived happily ever after until Elsa started hearing voices. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Having Anna just be married is boring, so it's like, what if he can't propose?
Yeah, they're still completely in love with each other and on the same page, but what if she became a moron about certain words that he uses? Hijinks. So, yeah, and then they expand the world. They take you beyond. Did we decide it's Arendelle?
It's Arendelle.
Arendelle, excuse me.
And we say Arendelle.
Oh.
So
a pox on both their houses.
Be canceled.
Yeah, canceled. You're canceled.
You canceled.
So we go up to Northuldra, which with limited success, I think.
To the Enchanted Forest.
Yeah,
the Enchanted Forest.
Yeah, and that's really all they had. It seems like they were just kind of brainstorming, like throwing stuff up on the wall, and then because animation takes like 2 to 4 years to make, they had to just kind of press play, because you got to write the script, then you got to write the songs, then you got to animate it, and it's got to come out before kids grow out of Frozen Halloween costumes.
Yeah, I feel like it's the thing of like you can't really. The one thing they didn't do that I thought they were going to do is I thought they were going to de-orphan them.
Yeah,
when they went and they found the ship like washed up, I was like, oh my god, like their effing
Elsa,
dad is gonna come out with a beard, like, oh, and it's like, so I'm actually very glad they were not de-orphans, because I thought we were heading down that road.
Right.
But yeah, no, it feels like they were kind of like keeping pace for a second, just sort of wasting time, and then they're like, what do you got left? They're like, where did Elsa's powers come from? They're like, all right, what else can you do? And like, it's magic in the north. Yeah, all right, we can make that work. Sure. Because it's like 90 minutes. It's
brisk.
Is for a modern animated movie, it's pretty brisk.
Which I appreciate, and I appreciate the pun too. So let's watch our honest trailer for Frozen 2, Electric Boogaloo, and see what else we have to say
about that.
From the studio who brought you Lion King 1.5, Mulan 2, and Lady and the Tramp 2 Scamp's Adventure, comes a Disney animated film that's nothing like their lazy direct-to-video sequels of the past, because this one came out in theaters.
Pause.
Frozen.
This happens annually, every time we bring up an animated sequel.
Every time we bring up an animated sequel, a direct-to-video one, the animated sequel Defenders come out of the woodwork.
Yes.
Granted, I haven't seen all of them. I haven't seen the one people mention that they like is there's a Lion King one that they like.
Simba's Pride.
Simba's Pride, yeah. But I've seen Return of Jafar.
Yeah.
I've seen enough of them to just make a blanket statement. No, they're actually bad. You were just a baby.
Well, I mean, and the point is, none of them, I would argue, of the ones that I've seen, even if you like them, none of them are up to the standards of the originals, because if they had been, then they would have been probably released theatrically. Yeah. And that's the point, is like, it is a lot of them are perfectly fine. They're just,
they're TV level. They're like 90s television level, which I think the Aladdin one was initially developed as a Saturday morning cartoon series, and they're like, you know what, if we put this in a big soft clamshell VHS case, we could get kids to spend $24.99 on it.
And they did.
And
congratulations.
Yes, it's fine. We all like bad things. And then keep bringing up the title sequence, the Frozen 2 titles. There's a joke that I didn't even think to I didn't bother recording, but it was
ours or those are coming up, the ones that we
we didn't. We didn't even. I didn't even put in the script because I forgot. But when I saw that, I went, Aurora Borealis right here at this time of year in my title sequence. But I couldn't pull it off. So there you go. There's your steamed hams joke for the week.
Steamed hams.
Cool. All right, let's keep going.
6 years after Frozen melted your heart, you grew up and moved on to better things. But when there's money to be made, some companies just can't let it go. In this scattershot follow-up, wrapped around an album's worth of B-sides, that's vague and world-building enough to set the stage for Frozen's 3 through 7.5, Scam's
Pause on
Adventure.
that. We had a lot of fun coming up with these.
We did. Always a good time.
Yeah.
The return of the villain that you thought was dead, we thought was a pretty good trope.
Guaranteed.
And then the search for more money. A good Spaceballs joke is always just.
Yep.
Oops, just Olaf. That's a cereal reference, right?
Yeah, that's a Oops, just Crunchberries reference where Captain Crunch hit the wrong lever on the machine that makes Captain Crunch, and they still haven't fixed it because it's still in supermarkets.
Yeah. My favorite is Froseven, the gritty reboot.
Yeah, I told him to make that. He had an initial draft, Kevin, that was more colorful. Said, no, you got to wash that out. That's the gritty reboot. That's like the Jigsaw of the series.
Yeah. And then Frozen 7.
And then back to Scam's Adventure.
I mean, listen, if you put that Frozen 3 out cold poster out and told me that was going to be a directed, I'd buy that. I'd say, yep, that looks about right. Well, that's
the thing is, we got this. We got Frozen Fever.
We did.
Except instead of putting it on VHS, it was they stuck it in front of Coco. I think it was.
Well, no. There was Frozen Fever, which was on like a Pixar reel or some kind of, and then there was Olaf's Big Adventure, which was supposed to be like a TV special. It was like a 18-minute short, and they put it in front of Coco because they thought that they'd have trouble getting people to go see Coco, but it turns out Coco was really good, and then people were really pissed off that they had to sit through an 18-minute long short to get to their movie. It was a whole mess.
Yeah.
It was a whole mess.
Yeah.
So...
Do you think, well, I guess they didn't overestimate how much people like Frozen because this made more money than Frozen. Mostly because of like worldwide.
Well, worldwide. I don't think it, well, I don't know. I have to look domestically.
Yeah.
I haven't compared the two.
But we're going to get Frozen 3 at least. Do you think?
I mean, it made $1 billion. They both did. So it's going to be real hard for Disney to not do that.
Yeah.
Because they
made a lot of Halloween costumes.
When it comes to should we make a movie or not make that movie, Disney lately has always fallen on the side of we're going to make that movie.
Just make the movie.
So new chairman today.
That's right. Yeah. This will be old news by tomorrow, but we haven't had time to digest it. But he's not doing the creative stuff.
Not yet.
Yeah.
No, Iger's still doing the creative stuff. The guy who's running the parks department, he's the new CEO.
Yeah, and so Iger will be overseeing the Princess Cinematic Universe that we're all creeping towards. Because
PCU.
Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. That's that other movie, right? Jeremy Piven.
Yes, and David
PCU.
Spade.
It's PCU, right?
Yeah, PCU.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We'll do that next week. Teaser. All right. Keep going.
That was epic.
All your favorite characters are back to who they were at the beginning of Frozen 1. Elsa's still moping on balconies. Anna's still caught between her sister and a mister. Kristoff has so little to do, they give him the plot of a 1930s comedy act.
I said you'd have to be crazy to want to marry a man you just met.
Wait, what? Crazy? You didn't say I was crazy. You think I'm crazy?
Pause.
No.
And
It's just especially galling because, like, No, I get it. You don't have much for Kristoff to do, and you got a whole ensemble you got to service. But like, to make Anna this moron.
Well, it's one of my least favorite contrivances is the contrivance of bad communication or of like
wordplay that could be cleared up,
easily cleared up.
Yeah.
Or just say like, listen, dummy, marry me, and then
I'm trying to propose to you.
Yes, it's very belabored.
All the way to the special Northuldra proposal ceremony, which is like you stand on a reindeer and do it.
Oh yeah, that was the whole.
Do they all do that?
Choreograph reindeer jumping around and
weird. It's very. And then you wait for someone like in the mist. You don't even wait for them to show up.
They've been cut off for decades by a mist. They've got to do something.
Yeah, they're basically like Galapagos finches. They've like specialized to a degree where they can't mate with us anymore.
Yes. They literally can't because the movie ends not with everyone living together peacefully, but with a policy of just like, great, we'll be up here and you be down there.
So weird.
It's very odd.
We'll find, I think there's another part where we want to talk about this more. So let's keep going.
I was crazy. You think I'm crazy?
No.
And Olaf is doing his best to hold it all together until he joins the Disney Hall of Dust.
This is a weird recurring theme.
But what they all lack in character growth, they make up for in costume upgrades.
Mom, I already told you. I want the self-actualized Elsa with the sparkly personal growth dress. This is fearless Queen Elsa with the gossamer dream cape, idiot. And where's new permafrost Olaf?
Are you ready to set off on a quest to discover the dark secret of Arendelle? Not so fast. First, listen to this bedtime story. And then a lullaby.
There's a river.
Then get a grime song stuck in your head.
Pause. So we made a Grimes reference, and then Dan said, "Wait, who's Grimes?" So
I'm old.
Yeah. Well, I was just curious. Like, I guess she's borderline. I thought she had crossed over into mainstream cultural consciousness. But
I'm sure to some folks, but
yeah,
I'm this shade of your grandparents. I mean, I'm really. I keep up on like a degree of things, but there's many things that I have to be like, what?
That's fair.
Like every day, Lon's like, "Oh, you didn't hear about this on Twitter?" I'm like, "I know. I'm sorry. I did not know."
That's fair. Keep Dan pure. You don't need to know about Grimes, but you should be our barometer, because if you haven't heard of it, it's probably not worth putting in an honest trailer. But then I don't know. Sometimes there's some things you don't know that surprise me.
Oh no, we put in so many things I don't understand that were big hits.
Yeah.
So I don't use me as a metric.
All right.
I'm the metric for like if you're like parents or perhaps if you have older siblings might get it or not get it, but no, don't judge the mainstream by me. I've begun the process of separating from pop culture entirely as happens as you get older. I just think it's a little accelerated in my case.
That's fine, because as we all know, music peaked in the late 90s, early 2000s, and there's no need to go beyond that.
Nope, nothing good has been made since then.
Since Papa Roach.
Except for Adele.
Pre and post Roach. Yes. Yeah, Adele is one of the few post Roach artists worth listening to.
I stopped listening at the Bloody Black Backpack. What is that, Eve 6? I don't know.
Eve 6, Silverchair, maybe? I don't know. Get your little black backpack, turn around. It's on your back. Yeah. I don't remember how that went.
It's something like getting your bloody black backpack back. I don't know.
It was a time of tongue twisters.
Exactly.
And
the 90s were quite a time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let's keep going. What's your favorite Eve 6 song? Sound off in the comments below.
Grime song stuck in your head. Then everyone just kind of meets up for a hang. Then a song about how every minute brings us
Semi-chomp
closer
kind
to
of
death.
life, baby.
Then, wow, we're still not off on a quest yet. Okay, I guess we have time for a full game of charades. Then just one more lullaby.
Sleep, my darling.
And now we'll set
Can
off
I
on
ask
a
a question?
quest.
Pause.
There's a joke in the movie that Elsa is terrible at charades.
Yes.
But she obviously has the spatial ability to make shapes. She made a castle.
She has a fantastic visual imagination.
Right, she can like poof her hands and like make
very evocative
three-dimensional renderings. So
I forget what
this was the biggest plot hole for me. You would think that she would actually be okay at charades.
You would think that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And like, you know, Anna seems to like have a good understanding with her that they could, you know, siblings. Like, my brother and I one time. This is a true story. We were playing charades, family charades, and an extended group. I can call witnesses on this. He said, he gets up there and goes, book.
Right?
And then he says,
4 words.
and I go, Memoirs of a Geisha. And it was correct, damn it. We got it. He said, book
That's
4 words.
awesome.
I said, I don't know where it came from, but like you live with someone, you grow up with them, and you just know what they're thinking. And I knew he was thinking about Memoirs of a Geisha.
Yeah. And I know that, you know, charades and ice powers don't necessarily, but the idea that you can't get across something that's, it just seems like you would think that would be an actual ability. That she
You'd
would have.
think. You'd think.
I bet she's great at Pictionary.
I bet she is.
bet she's
so
really good at Pictionary.
give that one a sin. Oh, wait, wrong show. All right, keep going.
Bing. Where's the bell?
My darlings.
And now we'll set off on a quest. Phew, Frozen 1 managed to fit all the plot and character setup into one song, with time left over to build a snowman.
Can you turn the
When our
volume of
heroes
the trailer up a
finally
little
get
bit?
their
My
ices and
mold
gear,
cans.
they'll go
Thank you.
explore the enchanted forest known as the Enchanted Forest, a hidden world full of cutting-edge particle effects and dull rejects from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
So
There,
pause.
they'll-
It's always the go-to to be like, they're a native tribe who has master of the elements,
Yes.
isn't it?
That and I don't think it made it in there, but the idea of the chief of the guard being like the main black character in the movie.
Yeah.
Because you had not the main, but oftentimes if there will be like the person who's like the chief. Like there was there's Captain Typho from Star Wars, and then even when you go to like Hunger Games, Mahershala Ali was like the chief of the protective. So like that's also a
Well, they don't make enough rom-coms to have the black best friend anymore. So
Right.
to have the black captain of the guard.
right. That's the rom-com. That's the action movie of the black best friend
Yeah.
from the rom-com is the captain of the guard.
Now, look, we should obviously tread lightly as 2 white men talk about race in this movie.
Yes.
That said, Elsa and Anna are part Northuldran,
Apparently.
who in this film, everyone in Northuldra is like, is representing some type of indigenous people,
Right.
like maybe Inuit or some northern indigenous tribe, except their mom's like lily white.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Well, I'll tell you what. They made a movie before this.
Oh, okay.
Before they had ever decided, and they couldn't really change the design of her character.
Right.
So
they just
as we
Rachel
say-
Dolezal.
As we're about to say, so shut up.
Yeah, okay.
And
Don't ask
worry
questions
about that.
Also, similar ancestry question. Their dad, massive honker on his face. He's like half nose. He's like a Beaker. Wait, Beaker of the big nose or the Muppet?
Beaker
Or does he have no
Beaker
nose?
had a big orange nose. I think.
Somebody, her dad was like Gerard Depardieu, and both of them dodged that bullet. So, go
Must
figure.
be a recessive gene.
Yeah, exactly.
The large nose.
Yeah.
In that family.
Anyways,
So.
food for thought.
Yeah.
But don't think too hard about Frozen 2.
No.
Let's keep going.
Airbender. There, they'll learn the dark truth about Arendelle. Long ago, they betrayed the indigenous people to the north. And by long ago, I mean Grandpa did it.
Yeah, pause. Again, sorry. We compare this movie to Thor Ragnarok. A lot of similarities. The mythical kingdom actually was built on, colonial exploitation of peoples,
Yes.
et cetera. And with Thor Ragnarok, they're immortal demigods. It
Yes.
makes sense that things could be lost to time.
It had happened
enough time
many millions of years.
Yeah, you could have. It was so long ago. They've painted new frescoes on the ceiling and stuff like that. But when your grandparents did it, I imagine there's people over 65 still living in Arendelle who could have been like, "Oh yeah, remember that?
I mean,
You're the princess."
I guess the history's written by the winners. So
Sure.
I guess the prevailing tale that had made it was that there was some sort of a conflict, but nobody really knew what happened.
Yeah.
But
Even the people who participated in it, but I guess they all got trapped in the.
they all
fog.
got trapped in the mist, except
Yeah.
for the prince, who was rescued by the very non-North Aldrian looking mother of theirs.
Yeah.
I still think that, again, like it's we talk about the fact that they really don't want to delve into the deep, and not every movie has to. But again, I love that the takeaway from this is just like, we've exposed the horrors of your past. My grandfather slaughtered the leader of your tribe, and caused the imprisonment of your people in this mist for decades. And so now that this isn't exposed, I will stay here as your ruler. Like,
wait, what?
What?
Whoa. Huh? Yeah. Well, forget the great. If the mist people and evil grandpa, that's one thing. But you had to have cooperation to build that dam. Project Damn Them All.
Well, the dam was a trick. The dam was a ruse. Yeah. They thought it was good.
Who thought it? Well, yeah, but
the Northumbrians thought that it was good, and the granddad was twisting his mustache and because it was going to make them dependent on Arundel. So, the assumption was that the dam was good. Yeah. And then I think that the guy, the Northumbrian guy, got wise to it, and there you have it.
I did appreciate
that was way more Goldbloomy than I anticipated. Yeah,
I did appreciate how quickly Anna is completely radicalized into an eco-terrorist and is ready to, like, after one deep conversation, it's like, let's tear this mother effer down. We're gonna drown Arundel it's gonna get biblical. They are done for. That's look, she's like a very overexcited undergrad, or she's
the Patty Hearst of the Disney princess canon.
Yeah, she's like instantly, eco-terrorist, monkey wrench gang blowing up monuments. All right.
Well, and the thing with Elsa is, I think that narrative, and again, when you're not planning, that narrative had emerged after the first Frozen, when they're like, well, why does one of them have to be the queen, and why can't they both be the queen? And so I think they had to get into a place by the end of this movie where they're like, well, they both have to be queen, so how do we do that?
Yeah.
All right. That's the perils of success.
Yeah.
You have public opinion now weighing in on you.
Tough. All right.
It's difficult.
Let's keep going.
I mean, Grandpa did it.
Grandfather?
But if you think this is setting up some hard choices or sacrifice or even commentary on historical injustice, it isn't. Everything's just fine. Who else was in on the plot? Did the people to the north want revenge? Shut up! Elsa's got a water horse now. So strap in for a brand new Frozen that could get sued by Thor Ragnarok if Disney didn't already own everything.
We do this together, okay?
Has no one been taught our history? Odin and I drowned entire civilizations in blood and tears.
But that goes against everything Arundel stands for.
Made of rocks, as you can see.
Hey, if you couldn't steal from yourself,
less interesting or fun than the
there'd be a
first
lot
one.
fewer
So
honest
most of the
trailers.
runtime is spent reminiscing about it.
Let's make a big snowman.
When you pretend to be Kristoff and you're like, I just need to go talk to some rocks about my childhood.
Yeah, I climbed the North Mountain, survived a frozen heart, and saved you from my ex-boyfriend.
Two sisters. One born with magical powers, one born powerless.
What did happen to your parents?
The ship went down in the Southern Sea 6 years ago.
Do you want to build a snowman?
And if you're expecting song parodies at this point, inspiration didn't really strike twice for this movie, and it didn't for us either. So just go scream Into the Unknown as loud as you can until you pass out. You'll get the gist.
Into the unknown.
Star.
I laugh every time.
What's that?
I laugh every time.
Yeah, it's still good.
That's my favorite honest trailer joke, maybe this year.
Yeah, it's a perfect fit. What can I say?
Yeah.
People will preview a fan question is why we didn't do any songs. I couldn't really name any of the songs aside from Into the Unknown.
No.
They kind of just...
Yeah.
And also a little preview. We're working on two very, very musical honest trailers on their way.
Yeah.
And we kind of had to pick and choose where we want to put our time and energy into. And I think the ones coming up will be more worth it than doing covers of the B-side Frozen 2 songs.
Hopefully once you see the two trailers, one of them a little more traditional, one of them even more musical, I think, than we're used to doing in the style of other musical trailers that we've done. I think you will agree, hopefully, with us that it was worth the sacrifice of not doing parodies for this movie to get those done, because we can only make so much music.
Right. We only have so much music in us.
Plus, it's difficult to write parodies. Good ones.
Well, yeah, I just think
Especially
it's like
no
you're writing parodies of songs that no one knows in the first place.
Right.
So it's like, what's the joke on?
Because the first one, like every song just about was like
at least
very memorable.
They had like 4 or 5 songs that were earworms, hits.
I would wager to say that no song in this film, even Into the Unknown, approaches the level of even a love. I'm not even going to go Let It Go. Even a Love is an Open Door.
Yeah.
From the first movie.
Yeah.
So
not even a Fixer Upper.
Not even maybe Fixer Upper. Fixer. We even make fun of that. It's like
a little bit of love.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah.
Good for Adele Dazeem. She was trying her heart out. She's trying to just through sheer force of will put this song in your head just by.
She got to perform on the Oscars again. It was an Oscar-nominated song.
All the Elsas.
Thai Elsa because of
the International House of Elsas.
Yeah, International House of Elsas. We got to meet all of the Elsas from around the world.
Yeah,
on the Oscars.
The global Elsa Illuminati, exactly. All screaming at you from every continent. So we have them to thank for that. Anyways, that's just a preview. We have more music to come. Don't worry, we haven't stopped doing music. We just placed our musical interests elsewhere. So let's keep going.
Yeah.
Frosty the Sidekick, the last black man in Arendelle.
They look like big, strong hands.
It's a never-ending story, right?
I believe so.
Toothless, Norwegian Rhapsody, the best friend from a rom-com that plays basketball with the male lead. The blink and you'll miss it gay character that Disney will pat itself on the back about.
Pause. Currently going through a new cycle of that with Onward.
Yeah. An exclusively gay moment.
Yeah. This at least was not highlighted, it seems, by the studio itself. It's been pointed out, but still, it's like great. You gave a character a line about the girlfriend they had back home.
Yeah, I mean it's tricky because like on one hand it's like cool to normalize it, to just be like some characters are gay and it's not a big deal and not a big focus of their character. But then and they didn't make a big stink about they didn't like pat themselves on the back this time. But sometimes they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna put a tiny little gay nod in this movie. Yes, we're going to trumpet it out that we've put a gay character, and then we're gonna cut it when it plays in Saudi Arabia.
They did it with Avengers Endgame.
Yeah,
they did it with Rise of Skywalker.
They did it with Beauty and the
Beast. They're already doing it with Eternals.
Yeah,
I am all for it. I'm all for inclusion, but like, just do it.
Yeah,
just do it.
It's not a story. You don't need to be like, we have a gay extra in Eternals.
Just great.
Okay.
Just you know what actual inclusion is? Just do it and just don't say anything about it. And then
the real telling
regarded as normal.
The real telling thing
is great because it is.
The telling thing is that they leave those shots. They make them just little shots so that they can remove them when they play around the world.
The real risk would be putting it in such a central position that you would have to go to a foreign market and say you either have to accept this or not, or we're not, or we're going to sacrifice your money.
Yeah.
But as I mentioned before, when it comes to taking money or not taking money, right now Disney will say, "I will please take money, please."
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it goes.
No, I love the fact that they are weaving a fabric of humanity, but like don't take the lap.
Yeah, don't take the victory lap.
Just do it.
Yeah. There you go. Anyways,
whatever.
2 straight guys take on gay stuff.
White dudes take on inclusion.
Yeah. Roll tape.
The Disney will pat itself on the back about. Kid sister, wherever I froze.
You get that reference right there.
I get that because it's from the 80s.
The Fifth Element. Rise of Ice Walker.
I don't know if we set that up well enough because they make a whole thing about earth, air, fire, water, and Elsa. When they combine.
The Fifth Element.
Yeah, supreme being. Elsa, Dallas, Multipass.
Do they own the Fifth Element now?
I think it was Fox. I think it was a Fox film.
Because then we could really be cooking as far as crossovers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up while we.
Corbin, Dallas.
Get Chris Tucker back in there.
Yes.
Fifth Element. So those guys, France. Distributed by Gaumont Buena Vista.
Okay.
That's Disney.
Okay.
So I think it's a Disney. I think it might be a Disney.
I think Leeloo Dallas is a Disney princess.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's. I mean, you now have. You got a Fifth Element.
You got one.
Elsa is the fifth element. You don't even have to. It writes itself.
Yeah.
Really. Much like a lot of these movies seem to, because they're all remakes of movies that were written 30 years ago.
Yeah.
They literally have written themselves.
Yes. Yeah.
Through the hard work of other people who don't get paid.
No, but they put those scripts into one of those autocomplete AIs and then just take it from there.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I would love to see the return of Emmanuel Zorg in any form, Disney or otherwise.
He looks like an animated.
He looks like he's a cartoon.
He does.
Yeah.
Like just let's cut out the middleman here and just make him a character. Make him an animated character. Bring back Gary Oldman. God knows he's worked long enough. Back up the Brinks truck.
Yes.
Get him in.
Yeah. Yeah. Make
he was Zorg, right?
Make Bruce Willis care again. Yes, he was.
Well, that's impossible.
Yeah, that's true. So we have our limits.
Even Disney has its limits.
All right, what else we got? Still going? Yeah.
And the fifth element. Rise of Ice Walker.
Yeah. Nice leaves, Holtby.
Wow, Olaf's only 3 years old and he's already doing observational comedy.
Every Arendellian ship has a compartment, waterproof.
That's very clever. Although it does make me wonder why they don't just make the whole ship waterproof.
Hey.
Now, as memory serves, that is an actual Seinfeld bit. He's talking about
box
it's like
on the plane.
Well, they're always saying, recover the black box from the airplane. Why don't they make the whole airplane out of the black box? I'm almost positive that was definitely a bit, but I'm almost sure it was a Seinfeld bit.
I think
they
I
should
recall.
make the whole airplane out of the black box.
It's classic Seinfeld observational comedy.
Really is.
Yeah.
Oh, what a world.
Yeah, what a world. Do we have any deleted scenes?
Yeah, I think we do.
Let's check them out.
And Olaf is dead. Yay! Starring
John hates Olaf.
Hack Frost,
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Mother Truce, Iduna Abongada, Heimdall, Captain Typho. This is him.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Coke. I'm kind of like the leader up here.
Lazy Stoners, Pascal from Tangled, Reindeer Games, Chris Christopherson. It follows. Sister Track, and a horse girl, and
Elsa Dallas, multipass.
There you go.
Arendelle, the last Icebender.
Well, that's definitely not how you spell Arendelle.
Frost
Whoops.
Vixen.
Glad we didn't use that one.
Too frozen, too furious. You know, I'm no waterbender, but wouldn't the water just go back and flood the forest? Why is Olaf obsessed with getting older? I mean, he's the only character in the franchise who will never grow old.
Yeah, weird choice.
I actually was curious about that. She puts up the big ice wall, and they're experts on everything that watch this because the second we get something wrong, we hear about it. So I'm gonna weaponize that expertise, and I'm gonna ask a question. They break a dam, and all the water comes rushing in, and it's going to drown Arendelle.
Yeah.
Arendelle, right?
Whatever.
Whatever. So then Elsa puts up a big ice wall, and the water all gets pushed back.
Backwards, yes.
Would it not then just return from whence it came and flood the forest that they had just come to peace terms with?
I mean, I feel like, you know, when you're in the bathtub and you're like kind of sloshing back and forth, like this will go back, hit some kind of barrier, and then like come back, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
it's not just going to disappear. No. I know that some of it. Some people are going to say like, well, she turns some of it into ice, and yes, she does. I can see the ice crystals there. I'm not stupid, but if you look, there is a large volume of water that is getting pushed.
Oh yeah,
backwards,
big time.
So where I would like some help from the physicists, etc. Maybe it's all turning to ice. Because it looks to dissipate.
It's like
I don't know.
Evaporating.
I'm just curious. Just from a physics perspective and a water logic perspective, where would all of that water go?
Yeah, I mean they're like a prime global warming death candidate. A sea level rise of like 6 inches.
6 inches,
and they're done.
They're gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically Florida.
I actually thought that what was going to happen was that they were going to sacrifice Arendelle.
Yes.
And then they would all go live in the Enchanted Forest in peace with the people.
Okay.
But no.
Yeah, that would have been a cool.
Separate.
No. Separate but equal.
Yeah.
There you go.
We both have queens. We both live together, but not together.
No harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul.
Well, there you go. Those are our deleted scenes. But what did y'all have to say? God, Kaumha Heron writes, did you like any of the songs? I actually really like the 80s power ballad. Reminds me of The Glory of Love. I liked it.
I liked the execution of it. I thought it was really funny inside the movie, but
it did just drive home for me how Christoph's plotline was a joke and not to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It just wasn't funny enough to earn that. Or, the song itself wasn't that hilarious. It was like, oh, they're doing a little pastiche of power ballads. Like,
yeah,
it's cute.
Yeah. It was good in the movie, but like take the movie out of it, it didn't. It wasn't an earworm like many of the other ones were for me.
Yeah, and honestly, like Olaf's song about getting older, understanding things when you're older, again, cute. It's like a Disney good comedy song. But none of the other ones, like, I can't even remember the other ones aside from Into the Unknown and those two. What else did they sing? Did the trolls sing anything this time?
No, they just kind of rolled in because they have to be in the movie, and they're like, we'll stay here. Go have a movie. We'll be hanging out here because they're like, watch the people of Arendelle while we all go on this adventure. They're like, you got it, okay. And then that was it. Yeah. No.
All right. Thanks, trolls. The Hero 136 writes, I feel like I'm the only one in a very small minority that liked this film more than Frozen 1. Anyone else? Not at this table, but that's fine.
Well, no, I said that I think that it's like script-wise, I think it's better. I just don't think the music was anywhere close to as good, which affects the overall.
Sure.
I think if you had this story with music that was on par with the first one for me, then I would have liked it better.
Yeah.
But for now, they're kind of on equal footing.
Yeah.
For me, maybe I might like this one just a little better on volume, but it's very close.
Cool. Sir Stoneheart writes, maybe it's just me, but doesn't the honest trailers about sequels seem rather mean? In particular, sequels with this one, It Chapter 2, Halloween. You're not wrong. I think that it's like, if there's a mission statement to honest trailers, it's to be honest about the rationale behind films and just to help you not be duped. It's to help you not to notice the BS that gets pushed on us. And I think that when you're making a sequel, it's rarely because there's a good story to tell. It's money first, and then they find the story to justify it.
Yeah.
And that kind of grinds my gears.
Yeah, most sequels, I would say, to some extent or another, are an attempt to recapture the excitement or innovation or originality of the previous film. Now, It Chapter 2, I think, is different. It Chapter 2, I just think we all thought was like way too long, kind of formless, structureless,
and
plotless.
Remade the mistakes of the miniseries / book,
right.
Whereas one really took what was great about the books and discarded everything else. They had an opportunity to do the same thing in the second chapter, tell more of their own story, but they went right back to the sort of flawed source material.
Kind of tonally all over the place, just all about side quests that don't really connect. But yeah, I think it is probably, if you go back, that sequels do kind of get a hard test from us because I think by and large, a lot of them, it's hard to reinvent the wheel. And when you write a comedy show about movies, you're looking for the easy, or the soft spots, the vulnerable spots, and that is a lot of sequels have the same vulnerable spot, which is, hey, we're just like the original, and we're going to remind you about it, but it's not quite as good.
Yeah, we're going to add just enough, but essentially this is a play on your nostalgia. It's not, whatever strange alchemy gets an original story made where you're like, I have this great idea, or I have something I need to share with the world. That's not where sequels come from.
Right. And Halloween for me was very much about like the fact that it sold itself as not another sequel. Like it's where it's the epic conclusion to the, and then it's like, no, it's just another sequel.
Again. Yeah.
You're just setting up more sequels. Like it's a different kind of sequel. I'll grant you that, but like no, you're just another Halloween sequel.
Yeah. I don't remember us being particularly mean to Halloween, but I'll have to rewatch it.
I was pretty mean. I don't know about the trailers, but I was very mean.
You didn't like it. Yeah.
I was not a fan. I didn't hate it, but I was not a big fan.
That was fun. Anyways, that's it for this shrunken down episode of Honest Trailer Commentaries. But we'll be back next week, maybe with a fuller cast.
Nope, just Spencer next
week. Me. To talk about something that, maybe you'll want to throw some of your money at us for it, for doing it in appreciation.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's your clue. And we'll see you right here next week on Honest Trailer Commentaries. Bye-bye.